Hey guys, welcome to my first ever video on my brand new YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, my name's Dylan, and today I'm going to go over 5 simple workflows and AI automations that if you don't have to your business, you can implement to add value. For those who stick around to the end, I promise there's a little gift in for you. Let's jump straight into the first build. So the first workflow that we've got here is an instant lead follow-up. Now, what this is basically going to do is it's going to start off with a webhook. This would be if someone fills out a form on your website, or if they respond to a Facebook ad or anything that you're running. It'll take all their information. It'll then add it to wherever you store data, whether that's a CRM, Google Sheets, a database, whatever. And then what it's going to do, it's going to do 2 things. It's going to send an email to that prospect straight away to say, listen, thank you for submitting the form, we're going to be in touch. And then what it's also going to do is it's going to send an email to either you or a member of your sales team to let them know that that person's filled this out. So the reason this is so important is Meta released publishing, basically finding that if you don't respond to a lead within the first 5 minutes, you're 80% less likely to close that lead. So see, just sending them an email to say someone's going to be in contact and then letting someone from your team or yourself know to call them within that first 5 minutes, it's going to make a massive difference and increase the chance of you actually closing that lead. Next build. So the second workflow we've got here is actually attached to an AI agent that I built. This will answer any customer support questions, and it can also capture customer information if they're interested in potentially using your services. So if someone was to ask this letting agent, where do you manage properties? Manage properties in Glasgow. So if I'm a landlord based in Glasgow, I know I can use this. What it's also set up to do is, would you like to use our property management services? So it's built to then capture customer information. So if the customer says yes, what it's then going to do is it's then going to capture all that customer's information. Now, once they ask all the questions, they provide the information that's required. It's then going to send an API request to this webhook, which is going to capture all the information, and then it's going to add the information to your CRM or Google Sheets or wherever you store your information. You could also then add bits onto the end of this to send them a text or send an email to say that you're going to get in contact, and then again send an email or text to yourself to basically say they've filled out that form, so you should get in contact with them and follow up with them as quickly as possible. On to the next build. Okay, so the third workflow we've actually got here is an instant quote tool. Now, what this is basically going to do is this could be attached to the AI agent that you've maybe chatted to before. Now, let's say you had a service where you could easily provide a quote to a potential customer, right? Now, what I've just done for this one as an example is like a roofing company. So let's say someone was chatting to your agent, they just wanted a quote for your services. You could then again get the agent to capture their information and get whatever measurements and whatever you need. This one is then set up with just a simple prompt to get a quote or provide a quote for someone based on roofing. So if they provide the size of the roof, you basically take the size of the roof and multiply it by whatever that price is. Now, you could get really fancy with this, add in loads of extra details and use the agent to basically come up with a quote, which then sends it back to the initial agent to provide that to the customer. This is going to be really valuable because a lot of customers are just going to want a quick quote off you. It's going to save you a lot of time just picking up the phone with them, and it's going to get rid of a lot of tire kickers that aren't going to use your services, because if your price is way out their budget, you're not going to waste the time maybe going to their house and giving them a quote, and you're never going to get them anyway. So really helpful with this one. On to the next build. So the next workflow we've got is a no-sale follow-up. Now, what this could be is if someone has engaged with you online, maybe through a chatbot or through one of your services, and you've managed to get their customer information and add it to your CRM. In this instance, I've got it as a HubSpot CRM. You can then set it through a filter to basically check the status of that person, and let's say it's appointment not booked or whatever status you have it. This then goes through a router which has 3 separate filters in it as well, and you could then follow up with an email. You know, the first one could be like, we sent you a quote yesterday just to see what your thoughts were with it. If they still don't respond, you can send an email the next day basically saying, is there anything wrong with the quote, or what are your concerns with it? And the third day, obviously we don't want to keep pestering you, are you still interested? Or you could set this up to whatever it means. This is going to be really important because not every customer is going to buy on the first interaction. So sending those follow-ups, it might be that they just want the day to think about it, and then instead of you having to manually remind yourself, this is automatically just going to send out an email to then prompt a response from them so you can get them as a customer. Hope that's helpful. On to the next build. So the fifth and final build we've got here is to follow up after you've actually done a job for a customer, and it's to try and get reviews off them. Now what I've got it set up here is with Airtable, and I've set it up to activate once every day. So it's set up with a filter that after you complete a job you would then change the status for them. It'll then check it every day at 1 o'clock, and for those customers that you did the job the day before, it'll then send an email to them at 1 o'clock basically saying, thanks for using our service, hope everything was okay. If you're happy with it, can you please leave us a review? What it's then going to do is after it's sent that email, you don't want to then send up another follow-up email after they've written the review. So this is then going to finish off by actually changing the status as well to that person to say review email has been sent to them. So as you kind of see with the builds, we've kind of done it in a sequential order from initial first contact, kind of going through maybe a customer's journey to the end you're now getting a review from them. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Now, as promised, there is a little gift in here. So I'm letting everyone know for the first time that I'm actually going to be providing the services of building workflows, AI automations, all that for 10 clients completely free of charge. The only thing is I'm only looking to work for 10 clients, and ideally I'm looking for 10 clients across 10 different sectors. That way I can provide as much value and figure out what different pain points for each of those different clients are. Now, once I've got the 10 clients, the deal's going to close, and vice versa. If I get someone from a specific sector, if I've already got someone that I'm working with, then the space is shut for them. So if you're interested, if you're looking to add workflows or AI or automations into your business and you're just not quite sure how to set it up, I'll add my Instagram to the bottom of the video in the description. Feel free to shoot me a message on there or leave a comment down below with your details, and I'll get in touch and we'll work together. I'll see you in the next video.